My name is Maria Clayton, and I am a senior manager at MMP. I am delighted to have the opportunity to address you for a few moments prior to today's webinar. MMP is a leading national accounting, tax, and business consulting firm. We proudly serve the responsive needs of our clients in the public, private, and non-for-profit sectors, and we are committed to helping our clients, teammates, and community adapt to evolving landscape. We are proud to support organizations like the Chamber of Commerce and a partnership that aligns with business spirit and amplifies our values of leadership, excellence, commitment to enhancing our communities of where we work and live. Thank you for taking part in this session, and I look forward to connecting with you at a future Chamber event.
So first of all, just a little bit about me. I'm Mike Jennings. I'm the president of Morris Sales, and we have been in Cambridge for over 18 years now, and we have a really skilled team of digital marketers that do provide support for clients right across North America. My information is right there on the screen. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly, and there will be a slide at the end with some more contact info and some offers for you to take advantage of. So without further ado, let's just talk a little bit about the agenda. We're going to be doing a comparison of SEM versus SEO, doing some definition there so we know what we're talking about. Next thing up we're going to be doing is talking about what are Google Ads versus LinkedIn ads, some of the benefits and the drawbacks, a little bit about campaign objectives, fundamentals of content marketing, what's A/B testing, creating an effective call to action, finding your keywords, and then of course determining your budget, do's and don'ts about SEM, and then how to get the best ROI, and a little bit of bonus slides at the end. Okay. So first of all, let's talk about what is SEO versus SEM. So the first thing we want to talk about is SEO is search engine optimization, and that's that second part there. It's all about the free stuff that you get from Google. So when Google organically lists your website on their search engine ranking pages, that's the free stuff. That's based on what you have content on your website. We've got a whole series on that separately, and that's search engine optimization. Search engine marketing is all about the paid ads that you do with Google and other programs like LinkedIn and Bing and that kind of stuff. Anytime you're paying a platform to post your content or post your ad, that's search engine marketing. A little bit about what are Google Ads. So Google Ads have a bunch of different ways that you can spend money with Google to display your ads and to display links to your website. The first one are search ads, and you're probably most familiar with these. These are the ads that appear typically when you do a Google search, and you'll find these ads are typically text, and they list themselves at the top of a search before the organic stuff starts to appear. So as you can see on the screen here, we've got a couple of different kinds here. There's also different kinds that you can have, such as format ads and image ads, and we'll talk a little bit about those as we go. Here's what we mean by display ads. So display ads are those ads that you can see down the side or around other websites that aren't necessarily on Google itself, but other websites that Google has a relationship with, and you can display ads on their websites as well. And they're usually determined based on the market and the algorithms that Google thinks are best fit for you. And there's a whole bunch of different ways you can plan those campaigns. I won't get into the details about that, but those basically are those display ads that you see here on the screen that you see on websites that are not necessarily the website that you always expected you to be on, but websites that are related, that Google thinks are related to the search that people are doing for you. A little bit about the benefits of using Google Ads. Google has a massive reach, of course. They're the biggest search engine in the world by far. They have capabilities that allow you to arrange all your different kind of targeting. So as I talked about earlier, you can put targeting on different kinds of websites, not just on the Google search itself. You can build a lot of brand awareness using Google, and of course there's all kinds of different bidding strategies that you can use, different ways you can spend money with Google. The drawbacks, of course, is you're always paying a relatively high price cost per click rate. Can get up very quickly. So it just depends on what your business is in. If you're in a really niche business and you don't have a lot of competition, then those costs per click can be affordable. If you're in a very competitive business, then those costs per click can be very expensive. So always got to kind of watch your budget there. You have a lot of detailed settings, and therefore it can be very complicated for the beginner to set up Google Ads, and you can spend a lot of money very quickly and waste a lot of money very quickly. So it's always important to kind of know a little bit of what you're doing and do some homework up front. Keywords are always a big part of any good Google ad campaign. So you have to really know about your keywords and how to choose the right ones. And of course, as it is the biggest engine out there, there's always going to be lots of demand, lots of competition. So again, it's one of those things where you always have to be challenged and making sure that you're understanding what you're doing and balancing it out carefully so you don't spend a lot of money without getting a lot of return for it. So here's another thing we want to talk about is LinkedIn ads. We really like LinkedIn ads if you're trying to build awareness versus Google ads, which tend to be there for when someone has an immediate need. They'll do a Google search, they have an immediate need, and they look for your ads. The thing that we like about LinkedIn ads, they're more about building awareness, and you're able to target them specifically into a particular company or a particular person's feed that you're very interested in talking to. Much more rifle shot than shotgun shot type of advertising that you would get with Google ads. Here's an example of sponsored content where you can create a blog, a white paper, whatever that is, and you feed it only to those kind of people that you want to see your sponsored content, so you're not wasting it on people that you don't really want to see your ads. Another way here is sponsored messaging. We love sponsored messaging because it can be, again, feed directly into your target's email or sorry, in-mail feed, and they used to be called sponsored in-mail, and it makes it look like you're sending them something directly, even though it is an ad that you've created. And then, of course, there's text ads that always appear down the side of your LinkedIn desktop feed. Those are great if you want to get some very graphic-y or specific messaging to the target market you're going after. And then, of course, last but not least, is dynamic ads. These are ads that kind of appear when someone's done a specific search for something, and they're very personalized. This is an example of one of mine, and it appears when they're on their LinkedIn feed. An ad for our stuff shows up if we think they're in the right kind of fit for our targeting. A little bit about the benefits of LinkedIn ads. Obviously a very professional audience. It's not a consumer producty type of thing that we typically use LinkedIn ads for. We also can be very targeted on the demographics, and you have a wide variety of different ads that you can try. Of course, the drawback is that they are more expensive typically than Google ads, and some of them are often, and sometimes you're kind of challenged with having to compete with job hunters and career people. So those are always a little bit of a downturn. And then there's not as many reporting analytics as you get with Google Analytics or Google Ads. Sorry. So let's talk a little bit about what are the objectives of your campaign. This is the most important slide, I would say, on this presentation, is you really need to know what the objective of your campaign is so that you can make the right decision on your media buy. So for example, are you trying to build brand awareness of your product or services? Are people knowing about you? Do you want to reach that particular company or that particular audience and just build awareness of who you are? If you're launching a new product, a new company, this is actually really a key one. The other side then is website traffic. Are you just trying to drive more traffic back to your website and just gather more clicks? Again, kind of an awareness thing. Or are you actually going after lead generation, trying to convert to new business, new opportunities, new leads? You want those form fills, you want those click-throughs. So that really, it's really important to decide what's important to you going into your campaign so you know what kind of campaign to design. Here's kind of the 4 fundamentals of content marketing and what we talk about when you're kind of building out these campaigns. What are your customers' product journey? Is your product well known, or is it more an improved product, or is it a very competitive product in a highly competitive industry, or is it something you're just trying to build development or develop a community around? So for example, if you're trying to develop a community of followers, then you want to entertain, you want to be more fun. If you want to build up, if you're competing against a lot of other products that are similar to yours, then you need to be more persuasive. If you're new and improved type product, you want to educate people who may know about your product, but you want to educate them on the latest and greatest. And of course, if you're totally unknown, you want to inform them and inspire them to want to talk more about you. And we really encourage our customers to kind of know where they are in one of those 4 quadrants and what percentage they're in those quadrants, so we can help write appropriate content and ads for them to reach those goals. Let's talk about A/B testing right now. A/B testing is simply creating a series or 2 ads to start with that have simply one difference between the 2 ads. The idea there is to change that variable to see which one gets more clicks. And for example here, option A, option B, the only difference is is that there's a blue box versus a red box in the top right corner. That red box may be the call to action or some other graphic or logo or whatever that is. And we're just trying to look at different colors. It could be a wording, it could be a call to action change, it could be text, whatever those things are. We just want to make 1 or 2 minor tweaks at a time, and you can do ABC testing where you have 3 different changes that you're showing. And the idea here is to test these ads simultaneously with a small sample audience to see which ones are resonating best with that audience, and then you can zoom in on knowing what's working best for you. You would be amazed at how discovering just simply a change in a call to action or a change of a color or an arrow or some kind of little thing just makes all the difference. Just a small little change can be all you need to make a campaign successful. So then we want to talk about what are the 3 stages of an effective digital ad. First thing is what I like to call the hook or the headline. You need to have a strong hook or a strong headline that really stops people, and they can be a whole bunch of different ways of writing those. For example, what I call the FOMO, fear of missing out. This is something that you're writing a headline to say, don't miss out, we have a deadline coming, or don't miss out on this sale, that kind of stuff. Give your audience a reason that they want to read it. So are you fixing a problem? Are you relieving a pain? And make sure that these hooks are very simple, very short, and keep them very, very quick and succinct, because you've only got that couple of seconds to capture someone's attention. So it's really important that work, and that you grab them right away. You stop them from going further. Then the next part then is, what is your offer? Have you got some kind of unique secret recipe that no one else has? Have you got a new product? Have you got something that no one's heard of before? Are you solving that problem that no one else can? What is that unique offer that you're trying to get them to take advantage of? And of course, finally, what's that call to action? What's that CTA, that call to action? It should be simple. It should be low key. It should be easy to do. Let's have a chat, learn more, get a quote, whatever those things are. But you need to make it very simple and very short and succinct, so people don't have to think about, do I want to do this or not? Hey, let's have a chat. Hey, sign up if you're just getting a newsletter. Learn more if you want to get a product brochure, whatever that is. Just keep it simple. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about keywords. Okay, so whenever you're doing a pay-per-click campaign, it's super important that you do keyword research up front. So we want to do keywords that are broadly organized in the following terms. Brand terms, any keywords containing your brand name and trademark items. Generic terms related to the product, especially if they're using e-commerce or services, keywords like being able to buy that product, what the product does related to that product. What I also like to do is related terms. So it may not be the exact term that's related to your product, but it might reflect something that's similar. So if you have other products or other services that are in the same area, you can leverage off of that thing. So for example, let's say you're in janitorial, you might just say, maybe you want to do keywords for office cleaning, carpet cleaning, disinfecting, germ removal. Those are all kind of related terms to what the services that you offer. And then also competitors terms. You may look at what the competitors are using and how their ads are ranking, and you can use some of those keywords as well. It's just kind of learning from what's already being out there and what people are using to be successful, and kind of piggybacking on it. Some don'ts about SEM, search engine marketing. First of all, let's conduct specific keyword research like we just talked about. Rely on experts such as myself and other firms that can have an experience in doing this stuff, because it is complicated. It can get away on you very quickly and cost you a lot of money if you're not watching it. Take advantage of local SEO. So if you are if you're advertising, especially for consumer, let's say a restaurant or something or a store, make sure that you're taking into account keywords that are local. So if you're advertising for a restaurant in Cambridge, you want to make sure that you say, best Thai food restaurants in Cambridge are some of the keywords that you're using, because that's very relevant to what people are searching for in their immediate area. And that's what I mean by the geo-targeting. Make sure that you can name your town, name your city, where you are, that you put that information in there, because it's absolutely critical. Because those kind of things think about it when you do search for a hotel or a restaurant. You don't just search for what's the best Chinese food restaurant. You search for the best Chinese food restaurant in Galt, for example, or what's the best veterinarian service in Hesper. So you want to make sure that you're geo-targeting and you're making sure those words are in there. And then, of course, develop a strategy. Don't just kind of go at it willy-nilly and hope that it works, because it ain't going to. It's really important that you think about a strategy and how you're going to spend the money, and think about your budgeting and all that good stuff before we get too deep into it. Okay. Things that we don't want to do is go without a strategy, as I just said. Waste money very quickly if you don't. Don't forget to check your analytics. It's really critical that you check the analytics and what the ads are doing for you on a regular basis. Don't ignore the competition. Don't put your campaign on autopilot. Again, there's no such thing as a set and forget. And don't rely on broad keywords. Like if you're a janitorial service, I mentioned earlier, don't just say office cleaning and that's it and hope to get ads. It gets things coming. You need to have something that's, very specific to the area. Office cleaning in Kitchener, specializing in this, and this, germ prevention or whatever that is. So really important to be very, very targeted in what you're doing. Okay, let's talk about hacks and ways to get the ROI. So one of the other things we like to do is use negative keywords. And what I mean by that is that you're going to find that when you're doing an ad campaign, your ads show up for things that you don't want to be shown for. And so it's really important to understand what some of those things, checking your analytics and knowing what those keywords are early on, so you can tell Google not to show your ads on these keywords. So if, for example, if you are, again, let's take the restaurant example. If you were let's say a pad thai restaurant in downtown Preston, what you don't want to be showing up for is Chinese food restaurants in Galt, right? So you can put negative keywords in there like those kind of negative keywords so that you don't end up showing for those ads as well. Use landing pages wherever you possibly can. So if you have an offer or a product that you're trying to promote, create a customized landing page on your website that talks more about that specific product that the ad can point to. Never point to a Google ad or a LinkedIn ad just to your home page. It just lands there and people don't know where to go. You need a landing page that reflects what your offer is so that people know that they're on the right place when they've clicked your ad. Okay. Retargeting and remarketing. So retargeting and remarketing are when you place an ad when you see an ad that shows up for something you've just done a search for recently. I'll give you a perfect example. If you've been, say, doing some planning for a vacation and you were on Expedia looking at Mediterranean cruises, and now all of a sudden you're on some other website like Canadian Tire buying a garden hose, and ads start showing up down the side of a search for that kind of stuff for Expedia or Mediterranean cruises, that's retargeting, that's remarketing. So what they've done is they put a cookie on your device that says, hey, you were here. Now we're going to start feeding you more of those kind of ads, and they're trying to drive you back to the site. So that's remarketing. And you always want to invest your money on ad locations and times that convert. So we always want to make sure that you're advertising at times when people are going to be looking for your kind of product. If you're a B2B, you don't want to be advertising on the weekends. People aren't going to be looking at you. They're probably in the office and they want to look at you when they're from 9 to 5 on Friday, Monday to Friday. So think about the times that you're advertising and what you want to reflect. If you're say a theater company and you're trying to drive more traffic to that, probably not going to do a lot of advertising during the business day, more on the weekends, evenings, that kind of time when people are looking for entertainment options. Okay. Reporting and adjusting. Define your goals. The first thing you want to make sure is that you set your goals from the beginning. How many ads do I want to get? What's my targeting? How much budget do I want to spend each month? What am I hoping to get from this campaign? Target those and then check your goals regularly. Make sure that your offers are working, that your ads are showing up, and that they're showing up high in the search engine results page. That's that SERP. We want to make sure that you're always getting visibility for your ads and that you're able to track what you're spending so that you know that you're getting ROI for that spend. Very, very important. You don't want to be wasting money. You can waste money very, very quickly on Google Ads. Define your performance indicators or your KPIs. What are your goals? If I'm going to spend $300 on Google Ads this month, How many ads am I looking, how many click-throughs or what we call CTRs, click-throughs, am I going to be getting for that spend? Will my ad display 10 times in a day or 20 times in a day? And how many click-throughs do I want to make sure that I get through to my website on that spend? If I'm spending $300 or $500 a month and I'm not getting any click-throughs, clearly you're not getting very good ROI on that. So we need to make some changes and refinements to make sure that you are getting those kind of things. That's what we're talking about KPIs. So always adjusting your campaign, always make sure that you're fine-tuning it. When we launch a new campaign for a customer, we are checking it daily. But if not at the worst, we're checking it weekly. Sometimes we want to give it a little bit of traffic to see how it's making out. You try to check things on a daily basis, but we're checking it weekly, making sure it's resonating and working with our target audience. And then from there, we can zoom in and start fine-tuning the ad. And then maybe we'll run it for 2 weeks and be checking on it 3 weeks and move our way out once we start seeing the results that we're looking for. But we're at the very minimum, we're always checking it every month. And then the last piece I just want to leave you with is a kind of a surprise here, is that Bing ads are really making their way out. I mean, as we all know, Google owns 95%, 98% share of the market. But you'd be surprised at what kind of effect you can get from Bing ads. Bing ads are the ads that you see on Microsoft, and Microsoft being the #1 kind of office management software, Outlook and Word and all those programs that we're using here, PowerPoint, all those kind of programs that we're using. Bing ads show up when you're using the Bing platform as your operating system and as your default browser. So there's lots of ways to use Bing ads. They have multiple search engines. They have much lower budgets, and you can actually import your Google ads into them. Some of the drawbacks are, of course, a much smaller search engine, and that the finite market that you're going after is like 2.71% share of the market versus Google's 91.95% share of the market, and that's varying all the time. But there are some of those neat little things, especially on the business side, the B2B side, when people are using Bing as their default office operating system, that you can get some really good returns on those. So just a good little way to spend a little bit of extra money, especially on the B2B side. So that kind of concludes our presentation. Obviously, we can't have any questions, but I'm going to go to the next slide, which gives you the opportunity to send me questions. And sorry, I've got a double circle square thing going here, so I apologize that I'm not sure what's going on the tech side here. But basically, again, we've been working at Cambridge now for 18 years, have a ton of experience. And if you click on the QR code up in the top corner here, we'll get you the digital marketing guide for changing times. And of course, if you have any other questions, you can reach out to me on my websites and reach out to me on my email there. And if you have any other questions, you can get a hold of me at any time on my cell phone. And that toll-free number is right there on the screen. So thank you very much for listening, and we hope you got a lot out of this presentation. We'll see you next month.